Hi guys, it's Anissa. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I did another full face of first impressions testing new makeup. I'm finally getting caught up with all of this super new makeup. For a while, I had so much new makeup to try that it was taking me forever to chug through everything. But finally, I am up to date. I'm with the times and we are here. If you're interested to see how I came up with this makeup look, then make sure to keep on watching. But before we go any further, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. I post on this channel once a week, so you never have to miss me for too long. Let's just go ahead and get into it. Before we get into the eyes and the brows, I do want to go ahead and put a little lip mask on. I've noticed that as it has gotten colder outside the past few weeks, my lips are dying. They are chapped. They need help. I don't think it's super new, but it's new to me. NARS ORGASM lip mask, and it has this really pretty pink packaging. Most of this new makeup is from the Sephora haul that I just did. If you guys would like to see what else I got and what else you will be seeing in new full face of first impressions, then make sure to click the little link right here and that will take you to my haul video. All of NARS packaging is that really sleek, clean, black matte packaging, which is beautiful, but it's hard to differentiate all the products because all the packaging is the same. My lips are so chapped. I want to show you guys in that packaging look where I warmed it up, it like melted. With lip masks, I really like something that's very long wearing. Day to day, I really don't wear lipstick and lip liner. I really just like to use a really nice lip mask. This feels really lightweight. It's not sticky feeling. We do have a new brow product, Patrick Ta Major Defining Brow Pencil, and I have the color Soft Black. When I was going to pick out a color for my brows, they had a lot of color choices for this formula. I don't think you can tell up close, but it's more flat, kind of how like a flat liner brush is. It's more wide than it is long. I feel like that's gonna be really great for outlining the brows. And that blended out really nicely. It's one thing to have a product that's pigmented. It's another thing to have a brow product that is blendable. When I blended that out, I didn't really lose any of my pigment. I am so impressed. Look at that. So this is the before. That's the after. That just gives a really nice soft effect to the brow. It's not super harsh or anything like that. I am very, very impressed. Guys, I didn't think I would ever find anything that I liked better than the Benefit Precisely My Brow. At least the past 3 or 4 brow pencils I've tried, pretty A1. I went ahead and fast forwarded just a little bit, filled in my brows with a pomade, cleaned them up underneath with a concealer, and primed my eyelids. I will have everything that I used down in the description box for you guys, but I really just wanted to highlight the new products today, and I'm feeling kind of fun. You guys know every once in a while, I switch it up. We are doing a colorful makeup look. I have had this palette for forever. NIKITA Artistry palette. This is a collaboration with Morphe. I am the first person to tell you that I am a sucker for nude eyeshadow palettes. But when I saw this color story, you have a lot of neutrals up here and even over here a little bit, but then you have some really fun colors in the center. I'm gonna do something like purpley, bluey, ABG and Mama Dragon. Barely pressing because I really want to build this color up. I find that sometimes with color I go a little overboard and that's what gets me in trouble. Slowly but surely. Oh look, that is buildable. I feel like sometimes I feel a little pressured to use every single color imaginable in the palette because I'm like, I want to try as much as I can for you guys. First impressions. You're acting like it's the last time you're going to use the palette. I'm really tempted to just do a little blue. Usually I'll bring it up too far, so I want to kind of incorporate it into the purple BB boy right here, this like pretty electric blue. I put it in there like if it would look stupid. I just want to put it on the outer crease right there. That blue is actually showing up and I'm not going to drag it out anymore. I just want to really concentrate it right here on the outside. I was waxing my lip and accidentally took a little bit of my skin off, so that's what's happening right here. Not to brag, but putting that blue there, probably the best thing I've done all year. Play with a little bit of shimmer and a little bit of glitter. Some of these shimmers are pressed in such a fun little pattern. I think I want to take this color right here, Metamorphosis. I always do one eye with a brush and one eye without. I'm just gonna swirl my finger in here. That looks like a really pretty periwinkle color. I'm just gonna kind of tap that on my lid. That was kind of disappointing. I really don't love that, but I think that we can cover it up with a glitter. I'm gonna take a little bit of setting spray on a brush and see if maybe we get a better effect on the other eye. That's such a shame. I feel like it's a little bit brighter when I spray my brush. This is why I always show you guys, for the most part, I shouldn't say always because I'm not perfect, but look at how much more pigmented that is over here than over here. Do you guys see that? Look. Finger, brush. Okay, that is uber weird. I'm gonna go ahead and use color next to it that looks a little bit more glittery. Katina. Nothing. I can't even get any pigment. Look, digging in here, and I can't get any of that pigment to come out. It's actually very ironic that this is going the way it is, because I found that if anything in a palette, I usually like the shimmers more than the mattes. That's disappointing. Does that almost look like red to you guys now? Or no, am I crazy? I really had to dig into that pan to even get that little part out. You see where I've pressed into it? Because it's like it's a putty texture. I'm not gonna lie to you, that is the worst shimmer I've ever tried. I always say, guys, I'm so happy that these influencers are finally getting their hands onto makeup manufacturing, because they're gonna make what we like. I'm just adding a little bit more purple back up here because I feel like I just lost the pigment a little bit. So I'm just adding it right back over top. If majority of the colors aren't good, why would I keep it? Because I have a million good neutral palettes. I mean, I was able to get my pigment back. We're gonna give this one last shot and see what this really fun color right here does. This looks like a pressed glitter to me. Ooh. I'm actually really glad that I put all those colors underneath, because this isn't super pigmented. Really pretty topper. I'm not seeing a difference in pigment between my finger and my brush. With my brush, I have a little bit more control with the placement. I'm gonna go ahead and try to slightly bring back my blue. Just feel like I lost a little bit of that as I was trying to build up my lid color. Doing the same thing on the other eye. This is what the eyes look like. I actually think it's really pretty. It's very unique. I think I could have accomplished the same look with another colorful eyeshadow palette. I had a better experience with the matte shades than I did the shimmer shades. These were pretty mediocre, especially for Morphe. Morphe has an amazing eyeshadow formula, so I'm not sure what happened here. Because of that, I really have to give this a C. Would I recommend this? No. I have other colorful eyeshadow palettes that I would buy before this one. This sounds bad, but this is the palette that I would give to a younger sister or a younger niece to use and play with. Gonna have to be a flop. You can make it work, but why make it work when you can just buy things that work on their own? Now we are ready for complexion, and I do have a new primer, LYS Beauty Secure Skin Gripping Serum Primer. I like to use a hydrating primer and a pore filling primer. I am gonna go ahead and apply this one first, and this claims to control excess shine throughout the day, works to minimize the look of enlarged pores, and brightens the appearance of hyperpigmentation and uneven skin tone. Skincare and makeup product in one, and I'm assuming that it has all those skincare claims in it because it does have 5% niacinamide and AHA in it. I feel like the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer was the first of its kind, and now that it has been so successful, every other brand is coming out with gripping primer, the jelly primers. I didn't use a lot at all. I just took a pea-sized amount, and I honestly feel like I might have used a little bit too much. Gliding onto the skin nicely. I'm gonna go slight tack. It's not super tacky like the Milk Makeup is. Okay, hold on, wait. Oh yeah, it was. You definitely have to work this product in more to get it to be tacky. Within a matter of seconds, that just got super, super tacky. Very intrigued by that. That is very interesting. It started out as like a really runny formula. I barely used any. I didn't even use a pea-size amount, and I was working it into my skin. And the more that I worked it in, and the more that it dried down, because you saw when I first applied it that it was really, really shiny, dried down, not to be matte, but just to have like a natural satin finish, I would say. Looking up close to make sure it's not balling up on my skin. I feel like my pores still need a little bit of help though. So I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of a pore filling primer just in my T-zone. I can genuinely say that OYS primer, I have never tried anything like it. I really wouldn't even compare it to the Milk Makeup, because yes, the Milk Makeup is really good at giving a nice tack to the skin, but it's a little bit of a thicker consistency versus this almost goes from thin and dries down and gives a really nice tack. I want to keep on using this and doing it a couple different combinations. This is a product that I would have to use for a while to actually see, okay, is there a difference in my pore size? Is there a difference in my shine control? This isn't just gonna be a one-time use fix. I love the fact that it's a super lightweight consistency. Haus Labs TRICLONE Skin Tech Foundation. I have the color 470 Medium Deep Cool. One thing I will say about this range, it is impressive as far as inclusivity goes, but it hops and skips a lot because there are a lot of different undertones. Based on your undertone, your skin tone can look lighter or darker within its range based on the undertone. It doesn't keep all of the cool tones together, it doesn't keep all the warm tones together, and it doesn't keep all the neutrals together. Everything is kind of spread out. I actually think that that will work. It just needs to be lighter. LA Girl Pro Foundation Mixing Pigment in white. You guys do not have these, you need them. These pigments are going to save you from having to buy a summer shade and a winter shade for each foundation that you love. And also, if you have a foundation that you love that isn't your perfect color, you can get your perfect color with these. I don't consider myself to be a cool tone, but I thought that this undertone matched me the best. What I love about these mixing pigments, they do not mess with the formula. I actually think that's pretty good. I don't have a new sponge, so I'm just gonna use my Real Technique sponge. I went ahead and readjusted my camera because I felt like it was making me look really, really warm. That is super skin-like, very easy to blend out. Looking up close, it's not hanging onto my skin weird. And as much as I hate having texture when I do, it honestly is really optimal when testing new foundations. Your skin isn't going to always look good, so you want to see what your products are going to look like when your skin isn't at its best. It's not even natural. I would really consider that more of a satin finish. It's not accentuating my texture, and that is all that I care about. I do not ever expect a foundation to get rid of my texture. Usually never super heavy with makeup on my forehead. I've actually found that the less makeup I use on my forehead, it prevents my makeup from looking cakey. Use a foundation brush as well. I always like to do half sponge, half brush. There is something about natural finish foundations. Pretty. Look at that. And I think that this claimed to be medium to buildable. I would say that this is definitely on the higher side of medium because I do have a lot of discoloration right now, and that pretty much got rid of everything. I'm not gonna lie, usually I like the way that a sponge looks, but this video has just proven me wrong in every way today. I really like the way that it looks with a brush. I definitely had to use a lot less product on this side of my face. Just look up close and see what that looks like on the skin. Like, my skin is not perfect whatsoever, but you just see how it doesn't accentuate it, and it just goes over it and makes it look like it's okay to be there, and just really does a good job at evening out the skin tone. I'm gonna go ahead and just carve out my brows really quick. I feel like that's a good match. It's not oxidizing or anything like that. Another perk of doing my brows last is because if you put makeup on top of it and it's a different color, that means that it oxidized a little bit. This foundation is exceptional. It really does look like skin. This is very similar to me, first impression, to the L'Oreal Nude True Match Hyaluronic Tinted Serum. That's what this reminds me of, and this just has a little bit more coverage than these do. And I also want to note too that that primer did not ball up or anything weird when I was applying my foundation. I just quickly contoured. Next, it is time to fix underneath these eyes, and I have two new concealers. I like to use one that is more close to my skin tone and then one that is brighter. I will just put this in the very inside of my eyes. Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer, and this is in the color 15 Deep Pure Cosmetics Push Up 4-in-1 Sculpting Concealer. I'm gonna go ahead and go in with this first. I love a more natural finish concealer. I just think that they look so much more skin-like. I also wanted to note too that that foundation did not hang onto my little mark from my waxing weird. You can definitely tell that it did something, especially because of how radiant it is. Do the same thing on the other eye. I am gonna go ahead and do a brush. It's not super high coverage. I definitely think that that's more of a medium coverage, which is okay. I used to be like, I don't want anything to do with medium coverage concealers. I need something full coverage. But I usually can achieve that full coverage when I use more than one concealer. Now we're gonna go in with a little bit of this concealer. With this, it has a little push on it. This Pure Cosmetics Dofa is pretty fat and wide, which doesn't bother me because it does fit right perfectly in the eye. This Charlotte Tilbury wand is definitely a lot skinnier. And that's why I only place a little bit in the inside. Look at the difference that made. Do the same with this eye. I definitely got more coverage on this side. These concealers were okay. Neither of them were like super life-changing. And sometimes it can just be the pair. So underneath the eye, pick up Lady Gaga's new powder, Haus Labs Bio Blurring Loose Setting Powder. And I have the color Golden. I wanted to use this specifically underneath my eyes. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see up close, but the makeup is rolling off just a little bit, but it's only right here on my cheeks. It's not happening anywhere else. It did a good job at setting it. It's not like the Huda Beauty loose powder where you put it on and you're gonna get tons of coverage. I'm having some mixed feelings about the concealer. I like the way the foundation looks. It balled up a little bit on this side, but not nearly as much as it did on the other side. Quickly set the rest of my face with a little bit of powder. I just went ahead and added a little bit of Bite Beauty's powder and went ahead and added a little bit of powder. Just from adding product underneath my eye, I'm really thinking that it was one of the concealers. Went ahead and did blush, highlighter, lip liner, and then for the first time I actually just put some gloss in the center. And then I went ahead and did some liner in my waterline. Then I went ahead and set my makeup. We just have mascara. Rarely do I try new mascara, but when I saw this little wand, anytime I see a wand that I think will work for my lower lashes, I'm like, oh yes, let me try you. Rim Beauty Lengthening Mascara. Small and get narrower when they get to the end because it's very easy for me to grab onto my little lashes. I'm actually really liking this. Sometimes the formula is so wet that I feel like it really doesn't do anything but make my lashes wet. It doesn't add any length. That perfect, not dry formula, but it's not super wet. This is the finished look. I think we need to talk because I love the way the makeup turned out, and usually that doesn't happen unless I love majority of everything. We had some really good products, some really in-between products, and some not so good products. We're gonna start with the not so great products. Although the eye makeup looks killer, this eyeshadow palette was disappointing. I don't know which one of these it was, but one of them did something dreadful to underneath my eyes. Thank God I was able to save it with some powder. I honestly don't expect anything but excellence from high-end brands. It's very hard for me to just be like, oh, this is okay. You need it, go buy it. This kind of fell right in the middle for me. When I was going to apply more powder to underneath my eyes, this did kind of separate into my fine lines. But then again, I can't say that it was this because it may have just been the concealer. So on the other hand, I was very, very impressed with these 4 new products. This primer, almost wanted to say that I thought that the primer was the thing that was kind of making my face weird because it was just right in here. But then I was like, oh my gosh, Anissa, it's not doing that on the rest of your face. It's one of those concealers. If you're looking for something that you want to be lightweight but give you grip and tack, this is it. Loved the longevity that this NARS lip mask gave. I feel like my lips look so plumpy and juicy. They're not dry and crackly like they were at the beginning, and this was not super heavy feeling. The mascara did a very, very good job at lengthening my lower lashes. I could see a tiny bit of a difference with the second coat. This foundation, very, very exceptional. I mean, it looked very, very skin-like. It was easy to blend out, lightweight with a very nice high medium coverage. This is honestly probably one of my favorite eye looks that I've ever done. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I post on this channel once a week, at least that's the goal, so you never have to miss me for too long. If you guys enjoyed today's video, lucky for you, I have a whole playlist filled with testing new makeup, full face of first impressions. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.